Have you ever stopped for a moment and asked yourself a very strange question? Why do humans laugh? Not just why we laugh at jokes, not why something is funny, but why laughter exists at all. Because when you really think about it, laughter is weird. It is one of the only things humans do where the body completely takes over. Your face changes. Your voice breaks. Sometimes you can't breathe properly. And sometimes you even cry from it. But the most strange part is this. Laughter doesn't always need a reason. Sometimes people laugh when nothing is funny at all. Sometimes people laugh when they are nervous. Sometimes people laugh just because other people are laughing. So the question becomes much deeper than humor. The real question is, why did humans evolve something like this in the first place? And to understand that, we have to go back. Way back. Before cities. Before language as we know it. Before even modern human behavior. We have to go back to a world where humans were not the dominant species. A world where survival was not guaranteed. A world where every sound in the dark could mean danger. Now imagine this world. A group of early humans sitting together near a fire. There is no language like today. There are no full sentences. There are only sounds, gestures, and expressions. Everything is about survival. Food, danger, safety, and trust. Now imagine one of them makes a mistake. Maybe someone drops a stone. Maybe someone trips while trying to catch food. In a modern world, this would be nothing. But in that world, mistakes could mean survival failure. And yet something strange happens. Instead of anger, instead of punishment, something else appears. A sound, a reaction, a burst of noise. It is not speech. It is not crying. It is something new. It is laughter. At first, it is probably not like today's laughter. It is more like sharp, repeated sounds. Exhaling air suddenly. A signal from the body. But here is the important part. It spreads. When one human makes that sound, others react to it. They copy it. They join in. And suddenly, the group is doing something together that is not about survival. Not about food. Not about danger. But about connection. Now let's pause for a moment and think about what that means. Because in early human groups, trust was everything. If you could not trust the people around you, you could not survive. You needed to know who was safe, who was part of your group, and who was not. So humans needed signals. Signals that say, I am not a threat. I am part of your group. And laughter might have been one of the strongest signals ever created by the human body. Because when someone laughs, they are not attacking. They are not hiding aggression. They are opening themselves. They are becoming vulnerable. And vulnerability builds trust. Now imagine two early humans. One makes a mistake. Instead of getting punished, the group laughs. The tension disappears. The danger feeling drops. And something very important happens. The group stays together. Now think about this carefully. If laughter helps reduce tension, if it helps groups stay connected, if it signals safety, then evolution would slowly keep it. Not because it is funny, but because it is useful. Now let's move forward in time a little. Humans are still evolving, but now they are developing more awareness. They start to recognize patterns. They start to remember past events. They start to predict outcomes. And with that, something new appears. Humor. Because humor is not random. Humor is based on expectation. When something goes one way in your mind, and then suddenly goes another way, your brain experiences a small shock, a mismatch. And that mismatch can trigger laughter. For example, you expect someone to walk normally, but they slip on a banana. Your brain predicted one thing. Reality did another. And your body reacts with laughter. Not because falling is good, but because the prediction system in your brain was disrupted in a harmless way. So laughter becomes more than a social signal. It becomes a mental reaction. Now, humans are not only using laughter for bonding, they are also using it for understanding the world. Because laughter shows something important. It shows that your brain understands expectations and recognizes when reality breaks them safely. Now let's go back again. Imagine early human groups again. Life is still dangerous, but now there is more structure, more social interaction, more communication. And laughter becomes even more important. Because it starts to serve multiple roles. It reduces fear, it builds trust, it signals safety, it strengthens group bonds, and it also helps release tension after danger. Imagine a hunting situation. A group of humans is chasing an animal. They fail. The animal escapes. At first, there is disappointment. But then someone makes a sound, something strange, something funny, and the group laughs. The failure becomes less heavy. The group does not break apart. They stay together. They try again another day. Now let's move forward even more. Humans develop language. Now they can speak. Now they can explain things. Now they can tell stories. But laughter does not disappear. In fact, it becomes even more important. Because now laughter can exist inside language. Jokes are born. Stories are created with surprise endings. Irony becomes possible, and humans begin to use laughter not just for survival, but for communication, creativity, and intelligence. Now laughter becomes something very advanced. It is no longer just a reflex. It becomes a tool, a social tool, a psychological tool, and even a cultural tool. Now let's think about something very interesting. Why do humans still laugh today? We are no longer in caves. We are no longer constantly hunted by animals. We are no longer surviving every second. But we still laugh. That is because laughter is now built into our brain. It is part of how we process the world. And even though the original survival reason is less important today, the system is still there, and it still activates. When something is unexpected but safe. When something is surprising but harmless. When something breaks pattern in a controlled way. So laughter today is like an ancient survival tool that never got removed. It stayed. Because it worked too well. Now let's go even deeper. There is another theory. That laughter is not just about surprise or bonding, but about control. Because when something scary becomes funny, you gain power over it. You reduce fear by turning it into laughter. For example, if something slightly dangerous happens and you survive it, laughing afterward tells your brain, that was safe. That is over. You are fine. So laughter also helps humans emotionally recover. Now think about modern life. People laugh at stress. People laugh at awkward situations. People laugh in moments where they feel uncomfortable. Because laughter is not just joy. It is regulation. It is balance. Now let's summarize everything we learned so far in simple terms. Laughter may have started as a survival signal. It helped early humans show safety and trust. Then it evolved into a mental reaction to surprise and pattern breaking. Then it became a social tool for communication and bonding. And today, it is a mix of all of these things combined. It is ancient, it is emotional, it is social, and it is deeply human. Now the final question is this. If laughter helped humans survive in the past, what does it help us survive today? Maybe it helps us survive stress. Maybe it helps us survive loneliness. Maybe it helps us survive confusion in a complex world. Because even though the world has changed, the human mind has not changed as much as we think. And laughter might be one of the oldest bridges connecting who we were and who we are now. So the next time you laugh, even at something small, even at something random. Remember this. You are not just reacting to a joke. You are using a system that is older than civilization itself. A system that helped humans survive the dark. A system that helped humans trust each other. A system that shaped human connection long before we had words. And that system is still alive inside you. Every single time you laugh,